The year was 2007. The iPhone had just been announced, the global financial crisis had begun to unfold, and debates were heating up for the 2008 presidential election. However, among these events lies the tragedy of Jennifer Strange, a 28-year-old mother of 3 who horrifically died from a promotional event that went horribly wrong. What started as a fun water chugging contest quickly turned fatal, leaving a happy family devastated and a radio station under heavy scrutiny, not only from the government, but from the world. To understand Jennifer's full story, we need to start with what was at stake for the contest. The Nintendo Wii. The Nintendo Wii was the hottest commodity on the market at the time. It was flying off shelves so rapidly that by January, just a couple of months after its release, it was nearly impossible to find one in stores across North America. Its popularity was undeniable, and where there's demand, there's opportunity. Enter KDND, a radio station based in Sacramento, California. They saw this demand for the Wii as a golden ticket to skyrocketing their ratings, and so they devised a live contest that would tap into the frenzy. Hold your Wii for a Wii. The challenge? Drink as much water as you can without using the restroom, and the person who manages to hold their pee in the longest wins. And of course, the prize for winning was the coveted Nintendo Wii. Enter Jennifer Strange, a 28-year-old mother of 3. Her love for her children knew no bounds, and when she heard about the contest, she saw an opportunity to give her kids the one thing they wanted most. She wasn't a gamer, nor was she the type to do such a challenge, but the allure of that prize, the chance to see her children's faces light up with joy, drove her to participate. But little did she know, this decision would have dire consequences. On January 12, 2007, around 6 a.m., the contest began with enthusiasm. 20 participants, including Jennifer, were handed 8-ounce bottles of water to drink at 15-minute intervals. Laughter, chatter, and the spirit of the competition filled the room. But beneath the surface, a silent danger was brewing. As Jennifer and others gulped down bottle after bottle, their bodies were silently screaming for relief. The jovial mood that had once permeated the room began to wane, replaced by a palpable sense of discomfort. Contestants shifted uneasily in their seats, their faces contorted in a mix of determination and distress. But the game went on, with the radio host egging participants to drink more and to push their limits, all for the prize that was so close yet so far away. But Jennifer, like the others, was determined.
How much longer do you think you could go, Jennifer?
As long as my stomach will continue to let me. I don't know, maybe a couple more.
Every gulp of water she took was a step closer to bringing that Nintendo Wii home to her children. But as the first hour passed, the contestants' bodies grew more and more weary, and listeners to the live contest started to become worried. KDND started to receive calls from these listeners, warning the DJs about the health risks of drinking too much water. But they shrugged off these concerns and even made jokes about them.
Eva?
Yes.
What do you want to say?
I want to say that that those people that are drinking all that water can get sick and possibly die from water intoxication.
Yeah, we're aware of that. They sign releases, so we're not responsible. It's okay. And if they get to the point where they have to throw up, then they're going to throw up and they're out of the contest before they die. So that's good, right?
Oh, that's me. I suppose so.
Yeah. All right. How come you guys didn't do it?
Thanks for looking out, though.
We don't want to die.
Oh, okay. Let me ask Carter if anybody's dying.
We ain't dying.
Hey, Carter, is anybody dying in there?
We got a guy just about to die.
Oh, good. Make sure he signs that we laugh at that. Yeah. Make sure he signs the release. Get the insurance on that, please.
As the contest wore on, Jennifer began to show visible signs of distress. Her head throbbed, her vision blurred, and her stomach churned with nausea. But she pressed on, driven by the thought of her children and the joy the Wii would bring to them. However, as the second hour dragged on, the effects of the water began to take a more severe toll on Jennifer. Her speech became slurred, her movements sluggish, and her once bright eyes now looked weary and distant. The room, once filled with the sounds of laughter and competition, grew tense as participants started to become concerned for their well-being. But despite the murmurs of concern, the radio host, engrossed in the spectacle of the event, seemed largely oblivious to the unfolding crisis.
Oh my gosh, look at her belly. Are you pregnant? Come on over, Jennifer. Are you okay? You want to lay down? What do you?
She can't even walk.
You're going to pass out right now. It's too much water.
The contest eventually concluded, and Jennifer, having given it her all, narrowly missed out on the Nintendo Wii. She secured second place, winning tickets to a Justin Timberlake concert. But the prize seemed rather trivial compared to the mounting discomfort she felt. Pale and unsteady on her feet, Jennifer approached the radio host to voice her distress.
Jennifer, I heard that you're not doing too well.
My head hurts. They keep telling me that it's the water. water that it'll tell my head to hurt and then it'll make me puke. But
who told you that? The intern?
Yeah.
That's one of those over there.
Like, it hurts, but it makes you feel lightheaded. So I'm not sure if I'm just like.
This is what it feels like when you're drowning. There's a lot of water inside of you.
Oh, it hurts.
The severity of her condition was becoming painfully clear, but the realization came too late and the damage was already done. After leaving the radio station around 9 a.m., the weight of the contest's toll on Jennifer became increasingly evident. Feeling unwell and overwhelmed by the sheer volume of water she had just consumed, Jennifer called in sick to work. Her absence at work and the knowledge of her participation in the contest raised alarm bells among her coworkers. Concerned for her well-being, they reached out to Jennifer's mother, urging her to check up on her daughter. When Jennifer's mother arrived at her home a few hours later, she was met with a heart-wrenching scene. Jennifer, the vibrant mother of 3, lay lifeless in her bathtub, a victim of the contest's unforeseen consequences. Jennifer's lifeless body underwent an autopsy, confirming the obvious cause of death: water intoxication, also known as hyponatremia. This condition arises when an excessive intake of water dilutes the sodium levels in the bloodstream, causing an imbalance. As the sodium concentration drops, water enters the brain cells, causing them to swell. And this swelling can lead to a range of severe complications, including brain damage, seizures, and in Jennifer's tragic case, death. The news of the tragic event spread like wildfire. Media outlets picked up the story, and soon the entire nation was talking about the contest that had gone horribly wrong. Questions were raised about the ethics of such a contest and the responsibility of the radio hosts and the station.
I really don't think that we did anything wrong. We just did our jobs.
The woman is dead.
Yes.
You lost your job, but she lost her life.
Correct. I feel horrible for her and her family. Absolutely horrible that one of our listeners died.
The public was outraged, demanding answers and accountability, which thankfully happened quickly. KDND's management, in a bid to control the damage, fired the radio hosts involved and issued a public apology. But for many, the actions were too little, too late. For an entire month, the courtroom dealing with Jennifer's case echoed with the voices of 41 witnesses and was filled with a staggering 192 pieces of evidence. And on October 29, 2009, after a tense week of deliberation, the judge declared that KDND were to be shut down immediately, and Jennifer's family was awarded $16 million. But no amount of money can make up for the tragic loss of a loving mother who simply wanted to see her kids happy.
The youngest boy, Ryland, is asking his grandmother, when's mommy coming home? And there's just no way to really answer that question in a fashion that's satisfactory to a 3-year-old.
I'm very thankful and appreciative that the jurors took their time and that they held the appropriate people accountable.
If you want more to watch, check out this video of mine where I cover the downfall of one of the biggest Ponzi schemes in American history.